All right, I'm going to talk about combat just a little bit. Um, First off, remember our grid, our map. I'm going to go ahead and push the button. It takes a second or two to load, so I'm going to talk while it loads. The Cryons are our enemies, and they live down here in this lower right-hand quadrant. And whoops, keep going down all the way to the bottom down here. I could have just typed in the region. Let's just do Z99 so you guys get used to it. Whoops, Z00. Get talking to forget what I'm doing. G00. Okay, so the Cryons live down here in this area from Z00 up to U6. Now from U6 over and down, they get larger and larger in their ship sizes. And by the time you get to 00, they have the biggest ships. I mean, they're bigger than ships that players can have. And so in U06 is the smallest ship. So we can encounter small scout ships, that kind of thing in this region. So I'm going to show you how to get there. I'm going to show you how to fight some and hopefully get back alive, maybe. So we'll see. Okay, so I can press jump to region, and there's a lot of time to do it that way. Or I can come down to the command box. All MegaWars commands start with 3 characters. You can go to megawars3.com, MegaWars, and that's the number 3.com, and find out the commands. About halfway down that page, we honor the original MegaWars 3 commands. So, jump U06. Okay, I'm going to do this slowly so that you can mimic or follow along. Okay, so we're going to jump into U06. We're going to do a little bit of combat, and because we can type the command much faster, then we can hit the map and go choose where we want to get out. We're going to type the command to return. That's why I'm teaching you how to type the command now. Okay, so our home is H50. So when we want to come back, we'll type in jump H50, and then that will get us back to where I am, at least. And you can choose your own region. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Entering system.
Entering system. So here we are. We have 1 scout. Oh, good. All right. So now he's moving perpendicular to us. He's trying to get out. So most likely he's going to lock onto us with lasers. So we're going to wait for him to go ahead and jump. He'll come back into the system in just a moment. There he is. And there's the missile coming at us. Okay. So first thing I have to do is, and I just did it, I click the ship, make him target, and I hit lock. Now our lasers are locked on him, and I press the fire button. Now you'll notice that there were 2 lasers. There was one on the fore and one on the aft. We saw that when we were in the dry dock. Now I'm going to circle away, try to keep that missile not too close, and shoot at him without that missile going off. Now, if I destroy the missile, he will immediately go to warp and launch another one. Now, when you're fighting players, you don't know that, okay? That's the fun of players. You actually have no idea what they're going to do. Okay, so this guy, hit him with the aft laser. Okay, do you notice how I spun? I just spun to give him access to that aft laser. Now you have to wait till the cooldown goes completely on the fore or the aft laser. Alright, you can see I hit him with both. Now you can see his front hull is coming down pretty good. So let's swing back around, and we'll see if we can get him on both lasers on the fore. Oh. Okay, so we hit his shields that time. You saw their shields. So let's spin. Stay away from that missile. They're not real smart. That's good. Oh, we're not hitting him very hard. There we go. Got a good purple. So there we go. We got him. Now, when the ship goes, so does the missile, okay? Because it's being controlled by that guy. So I'm going to stop for just a second. Okay. Let's talk about it real quick before the next guy shows up. They'll show up in about a minute or so, I think, if I remember it correctly. Okay, the camera will spin back around to go to to the rear of the ship. Okay. Okay. So if you take a look here, there's an aft laser. See that laser on the aft, and then there's one on the nose up here. That's your two lasers. The goal is to get the enemy perpendicular to you. Whoops, stop, don't rotate around. To the side, so that the fore and the aft lasers overlap and you cut through the shields. Now, if you take a look up here, oh wow, look, he, remember I told you how you wanted to look up here? I took enough damage on the fore and the aft that he damaged my lasers. Instead of 150, it's 135, and my fore shields is 80 instead of 100. Okay, so you take damage on the side that he's shooting you. Luckily, I didn't lose any laser or any warp. I mean, impulse or warp. So it means the next fight's going to be tougher. And my force shields, you can see right here, I've taken 80% of damage. I'm 80% and 73. So that guy did pretty good to me. Okay. All right. So the next one, I think we should go get repaired and come back. Let's jump and go repair. Jump. I can go to any Imperial base. It really doesn't matter. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to H50.
Entering system.
And we'll go to the Imperial base there. And then we'll just do a quick repair. And then we'll go back. That'll also refuel us too, which is good. All right. So we just want to do a quick in and out
Entering orbit.
on this dry dock.
Entering dry dock.
And then you double click exit.
Entering orbit.
So we're good. Okay. So we have all our missiles. Everything is repaired. Now, if you have a ship bigger than a scout, you'll actually need to rebuy the lasers and the shields. Okay. So make sure that you carry a little bit of cash when you're
Leaving orbit.
going into combat so that you have money for repairs. Okay. All right. So let's zoom out, and then we'll jump U06 again.
Entering system.
Okay, so one guy has not spawned. He should come back up any second. In fact, we could get a couple of them, so we don't know what we'll get. So that's one of the fun things you don't know. And if he doesn't come real quick, we'll shift over to one of the other Imperial bases. All right, not seeing anybody, and I don't want to take too long. Okay, oh, there he is.
Laser
Okay,
lock
good.
detected.
So there he is. We're going to lock on him again. Now this time,
Target lock acquired.
okay, now if you notice, he came directly at me. So this guy is a laser guy. Now, you see how I'm kind of trying to shift the camera to keep an eye on this guy, and it's very difficult to do. This is where that combat mode comes in handy. Turns the camera around, so now I can actually see the guy. There you go. Did you hear both lasers firing at that point? Okay, turn. Try to get that guy back into... There we go. Did 400 damage on his back. There we go. Let those lasers charge completely. Now, I'm very quickly accounting for trying to get both lasers on him at the same time. So, come back around, swing around, hit him from the back, get the nose. Whoops. Yep, didn't do anything. Okay, now, I have missiles up here, and let's talk about that real quick. I'm at 99%. So I'm going to jump to warp,
Engage hyperdrive.
max out my missile, fire the missile,
Levels are critical.
return.
Entering system. Imperial system mode.
Now you'll see that missile is charging in on him. We already have target. We do a lock. There we go. We got it. Okay. So one of the interesting things that you can do in...
Levels are critical.
Oh, fuel levels, critical. Okay, so that missile took a lot of our energy, okay? So let's talk about that just real quick. I was able to jump out, drop a missile, and it comes from hyperspace
Fuel levels are critical.
into the system itself, and then attacked him. Now, I've taken quite a bit of damage here on the front, 63%. You can see one of my torpedoes launchers is out. And yeah, my forward laser is at 99.
Levels are critical.
Yeah, fuel levels. Let's go ahead and jump. We'll jump back to our home system. Jump. And it's H50.
Entering system.
And we're going to go here. Okay. So
Fuel levels are critical.
hopefully it gives you some ideas about combat. I don't want to give you everything. I just want to give you some of the basics.
Entering orbit.
And here again, all we got to do is just go dry dock,
Entering dry dock.
and then exit, and then that repairs us. I need to load the torpedo tubes. Okay. So in MegaWars, you have 3 weapons. All right. First off, lasers are for normal space only. Okay. So when I'm in a system, we call that normal space or system space. Now I'm going to jump out to hyper for just a second.
Engage hyperdrive.
In hyperspace, we have missiles and we have torpedoes. Now, if I come to the left over here and I click twice, that brings up my torpedo ring. And this line fires torpedoes along that line and hits the target. Now, torpedoes are dumbfire weapons. It hits the first thing it finds. So if you have a friend that's near you, be very careful because you'll hit him with the torpedo, okay? So there is quite a bit of skill that comes along with learning how to fire torpedoes, and that comes with practice. One of the nice things that you can practice with, and I like to do this, and I launch a probe. And then I go into torpedo, and I press the key, and fire torpedo along that line. Now, he is out of range. He's loading. Okay, so this guy's coming back. And I just hit the space bar.
Destroyed.
Destroyed. I love that. Okay, so escape, keyboard, and if you scroll down, torpedo, launch torpedo. I like the space bar. And then it takes wherever the mouse is and fires a torpedo along that line. Okay? Now, once you get good with torpedoes, come back. I'm going to go back into probe mode. We'll launch another probe.
Probe launched.
All you do is take the mouse
They just shot our probe.
and you can fire a torpedo along the line from the ship at the mouse. I did not have to be in torpedo mode to do that. Practice allows you to be able to fire that without having to pull up the ring, and it's just skill at that point. You just practice and you'll get it. Okay, so torpedoes, fire along the line, set up your own keyboard button. If I remember correctly, it's the shift key and left arrow. Left mouse button with the shift key is the default, and a lot of people have changed that to space already. So feel free to use it in a way that you prefer. The second weapon that we have, and I will launch a probe again. Oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to probe.
Probe launched.
Probe launched. Now when I make this a target, now my missiles come up. Now missiles, minimum, fires a missile that has no energy in it. This is great for chasing down enemies. Okay? I need to make him a target again. 50%. Now, the more energy you put into a missile, the slower it's going to go. So if you do max, that missile is going to go very, very slow. Now, if your enemy just left the system and you two are right here on top of each other, go to max and hit him with max as many as you can before he gets away too far. Okay? And that's going to come with time, and your teammates will help you with that. All right? So missiles, learn to load them properly for the distance that you're firing. Now, if you're firing from hyperspace down into normal space, that guy on the other end of that missile does not know if you have max loaded it or minimum loaded it. So he's taking a chance. Like when I was flying around and that missile was coming at me, I was taking a chance that that missile could really mess me up, just tear me to shreds. But I was confident, and I was watching the missile, and I stayed calm and didn't get upset, and killed the enemy that launched the missile at me. Now, many times you don't have that luxury, and you have to make a decision on, do I want to lock lasers on the missile and destroy the missile, or do I want to continue pounding on my enemy? And that is one of the goals, is to be the one that launches the missile first, because as soon as they leave normal space to hyperspace, it will hit them instantly. So the idea of how you load the missile, it's all the strategy that you need. I mean, it comes with experience. Some people will always load a max missile first, another will load minimum, so that they have the fuel to be able to continue the fight. So if you remember back when I killed that other ship, I had hardly any fuel left, and we had to refuel. Fuel is what's going to limit your ability to fire and react during combat. Now, torpedoes are devastating against smaller ships. Anything below a cruiser will take significant damage from torpedoes. Once your ships get bigger, a dreadnought can take, I think it's about 200 torpedoes. So basically calculate a hull equals a torpedo hit. That's actually, never thought about that, but yeah, that actually works out pretty well. So if you're going to go up against a 10 hull cruiser, then it's going to take 10 torpedoes to take that guy out. So you're better off catching him in a system and hitting him with lasers and hitting him with max loaded missiles and trying to cut him down that way versus trying to torpedo him. If you're out shooting scouts, then great, torpedoes are an awesome weapon. And I think that's about enough to make you dangerous. So go find some NCPs, kill them, find some friends, practice combat together, because when your system is being attacked, your planet that you have grown, you're going to need this combat skills to go in and kill those guys, or that guy that is trying to take your base from you. Okay, there you go. There's your 10 minutes of combat. All right, good luck.